All right, can you guys hear me? We are live. We are a few minutes here before the close. Just kind of wanted to study the tether chart here for a little bit. We can see the 12-hour here is holding the 12-hour 200 EMA or SMA. What we actually really want to see is this get rejected here and break further down. That would lead the markets to go a lot higher. I don't think that that's going to happen right away. I think what we end up doing is we probably push up a bit, maybe even get a nice drawdown on Bitcoin. Bitcoin went on a pretty nice tear there for the last couple days, weeks here. So it's a bit extended here on the 12-hour time frame and in the daily time frame. High time frames look okay. It's these shorter time scales here, like the daily, the 12-hour, the 2-day. We were talking about this last week when we were around 94K and we were putting in some of these overbought signals. We did end up getting this push up to about 97, and that's great. But you can see that this is getting quickly rejected up here. Now, I mean, nothing really terrible, I would say. Right, we came into this like high volume node, and now we're actually looks like we're going to print a weekly doji candle. Not the best weekly close. That could spell some trouble. Back down, probably back into this region here. The 87,000 region, 88,000 region. I'd like to see that hold. It's possible that we could get a complete washout and we get a big drawdown back to the range lows to retest them before we end up going much higher later on. The only reason why I say that, don't discount that from happening is because it's going to take some time for those daily and 2 days to reset. Our weekly looks good. We confirmed a weekly buy signal. So the trend will probably continue to be up for the longer term, for like the next couple months. But here in the short term, next couple weeks, I think, you can see that our 3-day momentum here is sort of topping out. And, if we start to, start making closures below the 80 line, we get a 3-day sell signal. We haven't done that stuff yet. And I'm just saying though, that is a possibility to have happen. You can see the daily, bearish divergence here on the daily, giving us the daily sell signal. So if the daily sell signal initiates, we're going to eventually get a 2-day and then a 3-day, and then you're going to start to see things kind of materialize in that way, and that would bring price back down. Where they end up coming in to bid it is up for debate. I'm looking at the daily 200 moving average around 90K right now. You got a high volume area here on 84K. All right, so I think those are the target areas for us to come back down to retest. I hope I'm wrong and this just holds up here, but it doesn't really make sense that it's going to after that kind of momentum like that, right? So we've exhausted a lot of momentum. We definitely made a nice move back into the range. It would really be good to see it hold the range. Like 92K would be a great place for it to just sit. We'll see. I'm not, Bitcoin's a very strong asset. But your altcoins that just went on major runs, man, just be aware that, like an AI 16Z or, an AI coin, for example, that just broke wedge pattern and, got to a major level of resistance here, pulling back down to like 16, 17 cents while Bitcoin, figures out what it's going to do wouldn't be out of the cards, okay, before eventually going back up. just giving you guys a clue. You know, virtuals, same thing. This is very extended up here on the daily, tagging the golden mean ratio. Now, I'm not saying that this can't just sit up here and consolidate, because it can. But, you know, this is also very strong. This asset, you know, appreciated in like a month, appreciated from 40 cents back up to $2, did almost a 4 or 5x. I mean, that's amazing. So there's going to be some profit taking. And, you know, maybe coming back down to that $1 level, making a higher low there or something, and then maybe eventually back higher, would be in the cards. You know, just throwing it out there, like, you know, just be cognizant of, you know, coming into tag golden mean ratios and you know, major fib extensions like that. You know, you got your daily, for example, this particular asset, your daily RSI up here, you know, at an 80 reading. I mean, you don't want to be buying this thing up here, right? You don't even want to be taking profit up here. You know, you're supposed to be buying this stuff, you know, down here at the 23 RSI levels, and you know, most likely this is going to swing down, you know, back to maybe neutral territory, or, you know, a reset is what you're looking for there. And then you can evaluate maybe picking up a position on it or something, right? So profit taking is imminent here is what I'm getting at. So if you are in some profits on some of your trades, feel free to take some and sideline that cash for a reset. If you're not in a significant profit, then don't worry about it. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. It's been quite a ride this cycle. The altcoins have suffered, I would say, the most. Bitcoin dominance continues to power higher. We could start to see, eventually start to see, you know, Bitcoin dominance sort of top out. I'm not saying that it's topped out right now, or by any means. The weekly here just making new highs on the week, especially if we get a drawdown right now. I think Bitcoin dominance continue to go higher. People take profits into Bitcoin, right? Because people just want to accumulate Bitcoin, and that's the name of the game, right? So how's everybody doing, man? I'm just talking a bunch of stuff right now. So what I am saying is I do suspect some sort of drawdown, based on those dailies and 2-day time frames that look pretty extended. You know, I would also suspect maybe the stock market does a similar thing. You know, coming tagging into resistance here, you know, after this recovery, the weekly time frame, you know, also, you know, tagging the 50-week moving average. You know, the longer we actually stay below this thing, you know, that could be, you know, for Bitcoin below the 50-week moving average is bear market. So we're tagging it right now, you know, not proclaiming bear market stuff right now or anything like that. In fact, this actually looks great. The weekly crossing back up. We could get a couple days here of pullback or something, maybe retest, you know, 5,400 range. And then eventually, you know, sometime middle of the week, we kind of break through that. I think the Fed meeting coming up this week is why we're going to see a lot of this profit taking. Also, they probably ran it up prior to the Fed meeting here, in anticipation of all that. Let's go look at ETH Bitcoin ratio. It looks like it's just holding this floor for now. I'd say that's looking pretty good. I mean, it doesn't really get much worse than how it's been performing. I mean, I guess if it ends up taking out this low, it's going all the way to like 007. That would be terrible. That would be like like a 30% drop or something. It'd be like Bitcoin just sitting here and ETH dropping a bunch. That would not be good. Now this chat is dead, man. Where is everybody? We got 9-10 people on the stream tonight, and let me know what's up. What are you guys up to? Talk to me. I talk to you every Sunday. What's going on, Flap? Yo, Chase, what's up, dude? You got 2 stupid trades underwater. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Like, are you stuck in longs or something? Or I would assume that you're stuck in some long trades. Leverage trading. Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff, man. Looking at earnings this week. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can clearly kind of see that Tether is. Oh, nice, man. Tether's kind of trying to put in a bottom here. You can sort of see it. How high this ends up going. Looks like it might go tag like 5.3 or something. If it stays up here, we actually break out of this range. Nice, Chase. Who else we got on the stream? We got 8 viewers, 2 people talking. That means there's 6 other lurkers in here that are hiding behind their keyboards. All right. Yeah, I got some short signals here on virtuals. I think this is probably not a bad risk to reward short, at least down to 140s or maybe even the 12-hour Keegan line here, 120s. Just depends how steep of a pullback this thing is going to give. Now, understand like the high time frames are bullish, but the daily 2-day and 3-day charts I think are a bit extended after this run up. So if you are going to take a short trade on something like this, just make sure you manage your risk. This is a pretty big market cap coin too. Cool. The longs, man, you might want to offset those longs with some shorts if you can. I know that probably puts you under more water. Oh yeah, cool. What's up, dude? Yeah, we haven't spoken in a while, man. You're the guy who does, was it pinball machines or something, or arcade games, or I forget what your passion was. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm talking about a pullback incoming here is what I'm thinking. I hope we don't, but it just seems pretty clear that we're going to get it at some point here. So, yeah. Pullbacks are necessary to go higher, all right? Just like we got that pullback after 100K. I mean, the M2 money supply is still, ripping. So, like, we're going to get these ebbs and flows in these markets. And that's it. There's not really too much else going on. I think, the weekly time frames look good. 2-week time frames might cross up here, in another week or so. Just depends on how steep of a correction we get. If they really drag this down and they start making these that high that we made at 97K, like a confirmed lower high, that's not good. But we're not doing that just yet. So no reason to talk about stuff like that right now. When alt season? I think we're kind of getting one. It's just you know, a lot of the capital inflows are into, you know, the AI coins. Those really ran a lot. Some of them did like 10x on their lows, some of these low caps. It's just about you finding the right ones and capturing that. Like the L1s haven't really done anything this cycle. Like none of them. Like even like ETH is wrecked. Yeah. You know, it was really interesting. I was looking at the business ISM chart. Now I know it's not like you know, like a metric that you should really solely rely on, but typically, now I charted this versus like ETH. Okay. Now it's interesting that the business ISM cycle is kind of confluent with when we get alt seasons. You guys ready for this? This is pretty cool. Now, if you look at the others chart, okay? Others chart is everything excluding the top 10 cryptos. All right. And if I throw on the ISM chart, the business ISM chart, it's really interesting, actually. If I can find it here. It's like all the way the F down here. Hang on. Let me get this back on here in a different way. Okay. No, I don't want that. Hang on. How did I do it last time? Here you go. All right. So if you look carefully, every single time ISM peaks, we have the top of our alt run. You see this? It's not like 100% exact, but it's pretty good. Look, these bottoms were the bottoms of the market. These tops were the tops of the market of the altcoins. And if you notice, the ISM hasn't done shit. And so the altcoin market really hasn't done shit. Right. And so once the business cycles start to pick up steam, I think that's when we get our alt run. And so right now you just have a bunch of money that's just in and out of meme coins because people are bored of no alt run and they're just pumping meme coins and AI coins, and you know, certain altcoins are getting love from the current liquidity that's in the market. And it's just a rotation. I wouldn't even say it's new inflows. It's actually probably the same money that's just rotating in and out of stuff. So that's what's going on. The only money that is coming in, if it is coming in, is coming into Bitcoin, and that's it. Like ETH's not getting any action. Right? It's like a pretty dead market, pretty boring market right now, I would say, overall. But yeah, the business ISM cycle chart is pretty good if you guys take a look at that. It's on a delay. It's like a 1 month delay. But like that's going to give you a pretty good inkling as to, hey, maybe we're going to start an alt run now, right? When this starts to go up, you know, when this starts to tick back up, you're going to start to see altcoins go. And I think that that's the key. Cool. Hopefully you guys got some value out of that. I kind of discovered that the other day, and I thought it was very interesting. So we shall see. You don't really have any imminent selling off happening right this moment, but I'd suspect we do get some drawdowns. At least locally. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be anything dramatic. Because our weekly time frame on Tether is still momentum is still kind of ticking down, right? And our 2-week momentum is also getting up there. We're almost topped out on the 2-week momentum. I think we got a couple more weeks of maybe chopping around and doing whatever we're going to do. Maybe get a pullback in there, and then this rolls over. and then we get some cool things from the Fed, and then we can maybe get an all run. I'm thinking like middle of May-ish, end of May-ish, into June and July, and I think that'll be we'll get a nice run in there. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see how it pans out. What do you guys got? You guys want to look at any assets tonight in particular? Any stonks, cryptos? PLTR. Yeah, we can take a look at it. Wow. You can't say it's a double top until you get rejection and you break this neckline down here at $65. Your momentum is swinging up on the weekly now. Now they might smack it down on earnings or something. Trap anyone that's trying to long this here. Smack it down to like whatever 95, make a higher low, and then run it out. I wouldn't be trying to long that. Definitely not. And even if it does break, that's great. But I still don't recommend breakout trading, especially on an earnings call. Okay. If you're on spot, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. You should sell the lev, man. Yeah. Until you get a break and a back test, then you can go lev again if you want. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Eeks. Your monthly candle hasn't even taken out that wick, dude. I'd be careful on something like this. Now, if you had closed the monthly candle above this wick, you understand that's a long wick rejection, and you're just going to fill this wick right now. I'm not a guy that's, hey man, short it, but maybe you should. Yeah. Maybe there's no confirmation to short it, but yeah. A liquidity wick up there and you haven't broke it on a high time frame. That's just a fit. That's a gap. It's like I call it a fill. They fill a wick up there and make a lower high, and then it's done. $77K. Yeah, we could. I think 80, like the 88s maybe. I think 88s look about right now. Anyway, these moving averages. Pretty bad close on the wick. That's definitely a doji reversal candle. Potentially, it gets follow through, but you flipped on the weekly, so it may not be like a massive drawdown. Yeah, that monthly momentum doesn't look the best. That actually looks pretty scary. You guys look at the monthly momentum ever? That looks pretty gnarly up there. The only thing saving this market right now is that weekly cross. So, yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't be shocked about any drawdown that we get right now. This was a break, though. Oh. 77K. Why are you talking about a new low potentially? Mr. E. Burns. Yeah, and virtuals doesn't care about being overbought. Just rip it. Damn. That's yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I guess we got an outside 4 hour here. We could go back down and stuff can bounce or whatever, or a few hours. We'll see how this all pans out. Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily need to go back to the range low, man. It can just go back to liquidity fill like 89K, 88K. The reason being is because that's a major moving average there. Really, 92 is a big level. So if we start to take out 92K, then we can talk about going back to the mid 80s for sure. AEHR. You could start to see maybe some monthly bull div forming. Weekly confirming across. That looks decent. Yeah, this looks good. And you just can set your stop below, $6 here. You got a 1089 region. Probably tag that. Looks like you had a head and shoulders kind of play out, and you're button up against the neckline again. Nice. Are we? Or what? Stock? This company? Oh yeah, R-Wave. I liked it down there. A little late, I guess, on the entry, but yeah, I feel like long term on this, I think it's okay. Like that monthly reversal there. You're still towards the bottom of this range. You know, I think kind of once you get back above this region, this $8 region, you could easily run to about $15. Just looks low risk down here on the monthly. Looks good. Weekly ticking up. So yeah, if this pulls back, I think why not? As long as it holds this $5 region, I think you're good. 630s maybe. Retest and break. Something like that. Damn, man, virtual is blowing out. Like this thing doesn't want to pull back, huh? It's pretty strong. Flare. I would target your three region here. This looks like a falling wedge or something. Your monthly chart looks interesting, I suppose. Pretty close to a break. Like what is that? Like a descending triangle or something? Pretty close to a descending triangle. The flare network. Yeah. Yeah, your monthly pivot is above 3 cents. So I think that's like the target right now. It's like 3 cents if you break. You break and you probably back test and pull back around your 618 again. and you get probably a big drawdown. I don't know. If we get an alt season, then maybe you could be swinging this to 30 cents later on down here. Looks decent. It's pretty good, actually. Injective was looking okay. No real confirmation lows being put in just yet on this. I'd like to see a rally up to like 15 and then a retest is what I'd like to see. I'm not taking a position on this right now, though. This Say coin looked interesting down here. Yeah. I mean, if it can start to break back above, 27, we can talk about golden mean ratios or even the top of that. It looks like a flag pattern. Just down at the bottom of the range again, So I think if this asset or this chain does anything good, then this could be good. It's all about these AI coins right now, like AI 16Z breaking its wedge, pulling back, and probably going to pivot and run again. Virtuals, that thing blew out. These are the things that people are buying right now. I mean, look at this thing. This is nuts. I suspect this has got to pull back though, man. After that, just up only breakout here. Daily RSI up here at like 90 or something. Okay, 80. Come on. That's going to come down a bit. It's got to. At least a 30-40% drawdown. Anywho, not really much else going on. There's all these setups that are maybe brewing on monthly time frames on a lot of these assets. And so just kind of want to pay attention to that. Wait for those weekly and 2-week cross ups on your stochastics. And if they got monthly data, great. But if you can capture the weekly, then you're going to get a good entry on that position trade. And I would, that's advised. If you're going to position trade something, I think those high time frames are going to really help you. Don't be day trading this stuff. It's like a swing trade stuff. Swing trade pros, Swing trade pros, bro, And I think a lot of people get complacent in these really all markets, and they just start getting bored and do stupid shit, and like that's unfortunately, what is it, like 95% of traders lose money, and so that's the tough part is staying patient is really the key. And if you believe in something, continue believing in that something, unless the chart is telling you otherwise, right? The chart is your boss. And the high time frame chart is your boss, because that's not going to throw you for a loop, man. Like if you get a monthly doji candle and your monthly RSI is sitting at a 90, like what that means. It'll take months to break down, but what that means, right? Just like when you get a monthly hammer candle and the RSI is at 30. Like, what does that mean? It's a game of probability. You guys know the deal. So put yourself in situations where you don't have to question your decision. You're always going to be questioning a decision that you make. But if you put yourself in a decision that is high probability, you'll feel a lot more confident about it, and you won't be as stressed out about it. That's all. I think a lot of people struggle with that. They want to buy into something that's ripping out. They want to catch a breakout, and everyone wants to catch a breakout. But it's all about preparing prior to the thing breaking out and capturing the breakout. What most people fail to do is they fail to take profit when the asset does break out. They think it's just going to keep going, right? And that's the other problem. I suffer from it too. I'm great at buying things, and I'm terrible at selling things. But this is why we stream every week, and we go through charts every week. It's good practice for me, and it also helps you guys that are watching and learning. And I'm sure most of you guys that are on this channel right now have known me for quite some time, and it's not like you guys are new subscribers. Like, my channel isn't growing right now. Like, I'm not like marketing this stuff. I'm not like, blasting out content every day. I just don't have the time or the energy to do it. There's so many other folks that are doing the similar things that I'm doing. But I just think that it's not an easy niche, man. It's definitely not. And, I respect the people that do chart and do TA, because it's very time consuming, and it requires a certain amount of patience to learn. And if they're actively teaching it for free on YouTube every week, they deserve something. Okay. Even if they're wrong 80% of the time, which I hope that I'm not wrong that high percentage of the time. I'm definitely wrong a percentage of the time. I can't be right every time. It's impossible. It's impossible and improbable for me to be right every time. So it's all about capturing a high percentage of probability. That's it. That's all this game is. This game is, what's the probability of you making money on this trade? If it's 3-1, then you take the trade. If it's not a 3-1 risk to reward, then why are you in it? It means you're not going to make money in the long term. Okay, rant over. Feel free to chime in, chat. Oh, I meant to tell you, I did take a swing trade on fuel cell. I'm not really the biggest fan of this trade, and this may not even actually pan out too, but it seems pretty low risk down here. Yeah, and we did break below this wick low, but we did close the week back above $4, which was good. No break though here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking for a nice little swing. If I could swing this back to like $5-6, 40-50% type of move. TTD. Heard of TTD. It looks low risk, man. It's at the bottom of the range on the weekly. Yeah, it looks low risk. But, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go make new all-time highs. It could just go back up to, like, test the moving average at $75. I mean, that's a nice move, though. What about, like, SMCI, bro? Super micro computer, dude. Yeah, this thing's sandwiched between two major moving averages right now. Scary chart, though, if this breaks down. Nice. Yeah, I think this has a chance to reclaim its range eventually, if it holds this range low. It kind of looks like it's trying to shift its trend. The other one that I was in was ARQQ. This one was looking pretty good. Oh, let's not forget about ASTS, man. This stock is a gem, dude. Beautiful wedge break, back test. That thing's going to go. That thing's going to go pretty good. Pretty good. Just look at that beautiful wedge break. Does it get more textbook than that? Look at the volume on it. I wish I bought this back here. Damn. We can cover a bit of pulse chain stuff too. I guess a lot of guys here want me to kind of cover that. I'm ratio trading some of this stuff. Wrap Bitcoin kind of looks like poop. Nasty weekly. I see wedge breaks everywhere. Welcome to my life, dude. I taught you the ways of finding the wedges. And they're very profitable, right? Especially if they're on a high time frame. If they're high time frame wedges, very high probability for a break. Very, very nice. I see wedge breaks everywhere. Welcome to my life, bro. Yeah. That's how I yeah, right. Love me a node wedge. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I love the wedges, man. All right, so pulse chain, pretty nasty weekly reversal candle right at a previous resistance level here. You would like to see a higher low being put in here on pulse chain. For all of you guys that don't know, pulse chain is a Ethereum Ethereum fork. It actually helps Ethereum with its transactions, stuff like that. They call it the people's chain. There's no like VC money in this or any of that stuff involved in it. So who's calling me right now? Why is someone calling me right now? So yeah, I think if this holds, I mean, you could say it's a channel. It doesn't really look too much like a channel, but it kind of looks like maybe it's trying to form a wedge. No real structure. It was a descending triangle. It broke down, back tested, got rejected. Now it's coming down. It doesn't really look that good on high time frames right now. None of the pulse chain stuff really does. The wrap Bitcoin, this was looking good until it decided to get rejected at $470 the other day. Nasty weekly or rejection candle. I mean, hopefully we don't see follow through on that. If we do, well, you probably break your structure. You go back to $85 or something. Possible. And probably probable. Yep. That's your pulse chain. Looks like a lot of people tuning out. That's fine. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. And, well, hopefully we don't get much of a drawdown on Bitcoin, but I think we're going to see a drawdown. We'll see. It looks like we're going to see something here. We should. We also could just maybe consolidate up here. Yeah, we'll see. I just think that daily needs a reset. Maybe, tag 92K, 88K, that region there. Looks about right. Aside from that, we got weekly momentum on our side. So I think we'll see how this plays out. And we'll catch you guys next week. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful week. Catch you guys next time.